searching, your love was never far. You made a way.
Hello everybody, my name is Priscilla and you're welcome once again to a Safe Haven Show. If you are new here, you are very much so welcome. I just want you to go back to all the previous videos that I've done, and then I promise you, you're just gonna be blessed. I'm really happy that you guys are really here today again with me, and that the fact that you are availing yourself for God to have His perfect will in your life and His perfect work in your life is a big step, seriously, into this Christian growth. For some time now, I've been sharing all my experiences about God with you, and I've shared one revelation about the rapture, and it's been amazing. I mean, the feedback has been awesome. I'm really happy that a lot of people have been blessed by this. The core aim of doing this show was to get across and to share all the revelation and anything the Holy Spirit inspires me to share. So today too, I'm here to share another revelation that I had. I'm really happy to be sharing this with all of you here. So let's just get right into the video and then end with some inspiration from God. Okay, so it all started like this. When I slept, after some moment, I just found myself in our old house. I found myself there with my neighbor. We were playing in the hall and arranging some cassettes or some CDs and stuff. So whilst we're doing that, I just realized that the place has suddenly become bright. I turned to my left side and I realized that that bright light actually came from the window. The window had been ripped off, you know. So it's like we weren't seeing a window again, we're just seeing an open space. I was actually curious as to how that happened and then what is going on outside. We were standing there watching, and then suddenly I saw someone levitating in the sky, like he was just hanging in the sky, and it was a bit kind of like scary because I haven't seen anybody levitating in the sky except in movies. Whilst I was watching, the image became like clearer. He kind of like came closer and closer and closer to me. So when he got closer, oh my God, I saw the most handsome man ever alive. The beauty actually looked so magical, and when I saw him, I knew there and there, like at that moment, that it was Jesus Christ I was seeing. Nobody had to tell me, I just knew. I saw him with this long brown hair with like brown beard like over here, and his eyes were so beautiful, like there was fire in his eyes, and his hair was like really perfect, as if every strand was combed like separately. And then he was so tall. He was wearing this robe with this kind of like gold belt on his stomach. He was actually barefooted. The robe he was wearing, like it was kind of like maybe so many colors, like a rainbow. He really looked so handsome and it was really nice. When I kept staring at him, he was also like looking at me and he was smiling. And that was the most beautiful experience, seriously, ever in my life. And I was so happy. After a moment, he started like flying through the sky, something like this. So at first it was like this, and later he became like this and started like flying like a plane through the sky. So I kept watching because I wanted to know where he was going to or where he was flying to. So he flew, and then one time I realized he was standing on the sun, I mean with his feet apart. It was so amazing because when he was standing on the sun, you know how bright and hot the sun was, but the sun didn't burn him. The sun obeyed him. He could control the heat of the sun and the brightness of the sun, and all that was so amazing. I was actually wondering why he went to stand on the sun, but as I was looking, his facial expression changed. I mean, it changed from the smiley face to the angry face. Like he started frowning, and he looked like very angry. I mean, angry more than ever. I kept wondering why, and after a moment I saw him point down like to where his feet was, and as I looked down from his face to his feet where the sun was, the moon came from nowhere and just came to clash with the sun, and there was total darkness. The moon just covered the sun's brightness. It was like an eclipse. You see the eclipse where you see a diamond ring around it? There was nothing like a diamond ring. It was total darkness. And it was only Jesus Christ who was like bright. It was the only one who was emitting light now. But then the entire place was really dark. And I became so scared because Jesus Christ had also become like angry, and it was so scary to see like Jesus Christ angry. So my friend and I ran from the hall to our room. that I wanted to tell my siblings what I seen, that they should come and see why the place is so dark, because like everybody could tell that the whole world was dark. So I went to my sister's room. At that time, in my old house, like the five of us were just in one room, one big room, and we all had our beds and all that. So when I went, my sister was there with her friends. I think they were planning a party or something, and my elder brother too was there, and the rest of my siblings too were there in the room. It's like they were all doing their own thing. I went there like frightened, and I started like telling them what I had seen. They also realized the darkness around them, but they didn't know what caused that darkness. So I began to tell them that this and that was what happened. That was why there is this darkness. But they kept listening to every detail, to everything that I said, but then they didn't really like pay so much attention to it. I wasn't really expecting them to come out of the room with me and just go and look at Jesus on the eclipse. But they were still not minding me. I think they were so busy doing whatever they were doing. So I ran out of the room again, really sad and really angry for the fact that they weren't really willing to listen to me about whatever was happening. I mean, especially when it concerned Christ. So I went back to the hall, and Jesus Christ was still there. So I decided to like take my phone, to try and record it and maybe show it to them later. The moment I took my phone and started to record, Jesus Christ disappeared. The eclipse disappeared, and it's kind of like I just woke up from the dream. And the moment I woke up, I was really sad. I was grieving. I actually ran out of the room to my sister's room, and I told her the revelation I have had about Jesus Christ, and she kept on listening. She said she has heard. And right from her room, I went back to the room, and then I couldn't stay still because it's like I really wanted to share with everybody. And I went to the kitchen. Some of my siblings were there. 2 of them were in the kitchen. I started telling them about how the moon came to clash the sun. Like I started narrating that part. And then one of my siblings started talking about astronomical stuff, like the position of the sun and the position of the moon, and then how the moon, I mean, there were things that wasn't really needed because I was really serious about what I saw, but I felt like they weren't taking me serious like as I wanted them to. So I actually had to wait for them to finish talking about those astronomical stuff. When I started to continue, my sister also came in like with her wig, and she was trying to let one of my siblings to straighten it for her and everything, and they started like talking about her wig and she trying to leave the house early for work and all. So they weren't really listening to what I was saying, and I really got so angry, and I told them, okay, I'm going to my room. And they're like, oh no, we are ready to listen to you. And then I was like, oh no, I'm done. That was the end of the dream. And I just left angry to my room. When I went to the room, I just went to my washroom, and I locked myself in the washroom, and I was sitting just on the closet, like on the water closet. I was just sitting there, and I started crying. Because I could feel the Holy Spirit grieving, and the Holy Spirit started ministering to me, telling me that is how his people are behaving now. The word is there, and the time for them to hear the word, they are doing other things, they are busy with other things. By the time that they are ready to hear the word, it wouldn't be there anymore. He was referring to the end time. He was referring to the rapture, that now we are engrossed with busy stuff, we are engrossed with our work, we are engrossed with other things. When it's too late and when the rapture happens, that is when we begin to search for him, but then he wouldn't be there anymore. And at that moment, I was just crying because I felt the Holy Spirit actually crying. The grief was so much that I myself couldn't even contain it. I couldn't even speak anymore. It was like I was groaning, and I started pleading on behalf of like everybody, because I didn't know what to do, because I felt like we're living in so much sin, and I weren't really paying attention to the things of God whenever he comes out to tell us, and weren't really concentrating on whatever the Lord is trying to show us. We are just engrossed in worldly things that doesn't matter, things that doesn't help his kingdom growth. I just told the Holy Spirit that please just give us some more time, just give us another chance. And then I heard the Holy Spirit just say, no, the time is up. I am coming soon. God is coming soon. But then we are still not paying heed to him. We are still not trying to change our ways and then be with him and then try to do whatever he's requiring us to do. Where would you find yourself after the rapture? Are you sure you're gonna make it to heaven? Ask yourself right now. The time has run out. God is entreating and then encouraging all of us to turn from our bad ways. I have shared what God showed me, and then I really want all of you to just try and change your ways. Because it will be so sad for you to strive on this earth and suffer on this earth. When the judgment day comes, you'll be found in hell. It will be very, very sad. You wouldn't want that experience. Seriously, I was also living in darkness. I was living in sin. But then wisdom is knowing when to stop. And I decided to avail everything to God. It wasn't easy coming out of the darkness, especially when you've been in it for so long that you mistake it to be the light. And even when there's a little bit of light in the dark, you tend to feel like, oh, maybe it's the darkness that is looking a bit like the light, and you don't even want to believe it. So, I mean, this is the revelation that I had, and the way I was feeling. Sometimes when I have these revelations, I always pray to God that, Holy Spirit, just show these people, just show them, let them see what I'm seeing so that they will change. Probably because I have seen it, I am living my life the way I'm living just because I have seen it firsthand. But then probably you're just hearing it, so you don't really know the intensity of it, you don't know the essence of it, because you feel like, oh, maybe it's not really as bad as I'm saying. God really wants me to share this with the world, and I really hope it's really going to convict you and encourage you to look up unto Him and to live right with Him. Because after all, as I said in my previous videos, we are living because of Christ, we are living because of God, we are living because God wants to have a communion with us, an intimate relationship with us. I just want to tell all of us that God really has a lot in stock for us in terms of uplifting our lives and then helping us grow spiritually. So I want you to continue to join me on this journey to get a better revelation of who God is. As I always say, if you have any question, if you have any comment, please don't hesitate to send me a DM on all these various handles. And yet again, my name is Priscilla, and you just watched the Safe Haven Show. See you all on my next video. I love you all so much. Bye.
But what I know